Black perspectives haven't always been centered in the telling of America's story. Now, we're taking center stage. Introducing NPR's Black Stories, Black Truths, a collection of Black-led stories from NPR's podcasts. Search NPR Black Stories, Black Truths wherever you get your podcasts.
McLean County is moving to Phase 2 in its effort to get all residents reliable internet access. The county previously surveyed residents about their internet service and found many were unhappy. Now it actually wants to test internet speed. WGLT's Melissa Ellen has more.
The county is asking people across its nearly 24 municipalities, and in particular those in rural areas, to test the broadband speed at their homes or businesses to get a realistic idea of who's lacking quality internet or access altogether. The county's goal is to secure funding. The speed test will determine eligibility. County Board Chair Catherine Metzger says the current understanding of internet accessibility is incorrect.
Maps indicate quality service when in fact there is no service or little service.
Collecting results from residents' broadband speed test would resolve this knowledge gap, but only if enough people across the county participated. Added broadband is being targeted in the more rural areas, where service is generally less reliable. John Scott is an AmeriCorps member with the county working on this issue. He says icons will appear on a digital map to indicate where people who tested their broadband and lacked service are located. Then, the Illinois Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, or BEAD, will have a better idea of where to disperse the $1 billion it has for these efforts statewide.
That can help us get more funding for the entire county to say, these are all the locations that we need to serve because they're underserved at the moment.
The test is accessible online, though BEAD hasn't announced when it will end its speed challenge. Scott says it's best to take the test as soon as possible. He adds that actually getting people broadband is going to take even longer.
I know that this will not be an instant process, but we here at the county are working as fast as possible.
Residents with no internet access are being asked to submit proof to the county. For example, a letter from an internet service provider, or ISP, saying it doesn't cover that area. At the same time this BEAD challenge is happening, the county is launching additional efforts to check broadband feasibility. This, according to Assistant County Administrator Anthony Grant.
That will allow us to start conversations with landowners and those who are adjacent to that, so we can work on right-of-way and easement issues.
Right-of-way refers to traffic law, and easement has to do with land rights. Grant says the county is exploring fiber as a means to extend internet access into those rural areas. Fiber is just one of the methods for expanding broadband. It can be buried underground or placed above ground through poles. To get fiber to townships equally, Grant says the county needs to do some work.
We are looking at starting here in the very near future, looking at the permitting side of things, to try to get some consistency of what the permits look like from township to township, because that's the biggest issue, besides the money side, that's holding up ISPs from expanding on their own without any type of government assistance or the grant money that should be coming.
The county is expecting there will be townships or locations where fiber isn't an option due to cost. In those places, Grant says the county will be looking for wireless solutions. In the meantime, people like Kurt and Peggy Braffett will continue to struggle. They run Braffett Berry Farm and Orchard in Carlock. Kurt says the business struggles with reliable Wi-Fi.
We've tried many different carriers. They all promise us, yes, it'll work out there, and no, it doesn't work very well.
Multiple times, the Braffett's Wi-Fi reliant card reader has failed them when trying to check customers out. Kurt says he and his wife have had to rely on the honor system for payments as a result.
We have received checks. I don't know if we get 100% back or not. But either way, kind of looks like shoddy business on our part.
Kurt adds there are pages worth of information he could share on how his business is adversely affected. Problems even extend to his wife Peggy's teaching job. During the pandemic, she couldn't teach classes at home because the internet wasn't stable enough to run Zoom.
So she would have to get up, get in the car, take her computer with her into the McDonald's parking lot, get online in the parking lot, and conduct her classes from there because our internet at home would not support what she needed to do.
The Braffitts currently rely on a hotspot. They hope fiber and extended broadband could make the difference. I'm Melissa Ellen.
To access the BEAD Challenge speed test, go to the county website or beadchallenge.org. That's BEAD challenge.org.